Today, we're going to count down the top 5 false beliefs that will keep you overweight. One thing I've definitely learned on this journey is how important the right mindset is when you're losing weight. And one thing that I realized, especially back in like 2015 and 2016, was my mindset was incorrect. I had a lot of false beliefs. Some people call those like self-limiting beliefs, and these things were keeping me overweight. So in this video, I'm just going to take you through the top 5 things that I had to stop believing about myself so that I could lose weight. Let's start with number 5. My identity is tied to my weight. Now, this is something that was kind of surprising to me. I didn't realize that I had kind of come to just identify really strongly with my weight. So in other words, like I thought that was a big part of who I was. I am a person who struggles with my weight. I'm an overweight person. I'm an obese person. And as somebody who struggled their entire life with weight up until that point, I started to see, like over the course of my life, I had a few times there where I was at a good weight, but most of the time I was overweight. And so in my mind, it was kind of like this thing where I thought, if I lose weight, it's almost like I'm getting rid of a part of myself. Like my identity is wrapped up in that. And it was kind of scary, the idea that I would be getting rid of this part of my identity. What I decided to believe instead was who I am. That's not the number on the scale. Who I am is made up of all the different roles I play in life. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a daughter. Those are the important things. The kindness that I give to other people, those are the important things. So just because that number goes down, that doesn't mean that the person who I am on the inside necessarily has to change. Number 4, I'm too big to exercise effectively, and so therefore I can't lose weight. So this belief was really keeping me stuck because my mindset was kind of like this. I'm too big to get out there and run really fast. Which was true. Like I could not move my body quickly. I was really out of shape and I couldn't move really fast like other people who are really in shape. And so I thought, well, since then I can't, exercise that hard, then that's going to make it impossible for me to lose weight, which of course meant that I didn't really try hard to, change my eating habits or anything. The thing that I really wanted to change, quite honestly, was just I wanted to exercise more because I thought I don't really want to change my eating. I just want to, exercise the pounds off. And I also had some body shame that I was dealing with. And I kind of had it in my mind, well, I probably really could lose weight if I get out there and exercise. But who wants to see some obese person jogging around? So I'm not going to do that. And, one thing I did was I just decided eventually that's a ridiculous attitude. If the people out there are going to be judging an overweight person that on the fact that they are actually out there trying to lose weight, why would their opinion matter to me? But beyond that, what I started to see was even though I was, getting out there and I was doing exercise, I mean, by 2015, I was really doing like things like CrossFit, lifting really heavy weights in the gym, really working out hard. What I saw for myself was, I'm doing all this really hard workout stuff, but yet the scale really wasn't moving down. And what I started to see was that it was really difficult to eat the right amount because my appetite was increasing. So the more exercise I did, the hungrier I got. And so I was eating more to compensate for that. And another thing that I learned was just how few calories exercise was burning. And so, for example, if you go out on a 3-mile run, you burn probably about 300 calories. On the other hand, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is like 350 calories. So the problem is, you may go out there and work out really hard, but even if you just kind of have like an average snack after that, you've kind of canceled the two out. So what I ended up deciding for myself was, okay, I do believe that exercise is great for, mental state and that kind of thing, but it's probably not going to be the thing that pulls the pounds off my body. What's probably going to pull the pounds off my body is eating the correct amount of food. Belief number 3, my metabolism is slow, so I can't lose weight. Now, one thing I was convinced of was because I had spent my entire life, overweight, struggling with my weight, being on diets all the time, taking diet pills, losing weight and regaining it all back, I thought, I've probably screwed up my metabolism, so it's probably pointless to try. And that's kind of a recurring theme, if you'll notice. It's kind of like this belief would make me think, so why try? But so the metabolism thing, I was really worried about for so long. And I just kept thinking, oh no, like, what if I've just messed up my metabolism? What if, these things things I'm trying is making it worse? Like, what if intermittent fasting makes metabolism worse? And then I'm just making it harder and harder and harder for my body to lose weight. But what I eventually kind of came to was, if I'm really that concerned about my metabolism, I could go get it checked. I could, pay the money for the little test and see, is my metabolism messed up? But then I took it a step further in my mind. I thought, well, what would I do? Like, what if I found out my metabolism was really, really slow? And I decided, if my metabolism is really, really slow, what I would have to do then is probably like move more, just try to like go against what my body's telling me to do and just kind of move more. And I would have to eat less. And so I decided, I don't really see the point in getting my metabolism tested. So I've never been tested, but ultimately, I found that I could indeed lose weight. And so once I got past that belief and I just decided to say, whether or not I have a slow metabolism, it is possible to lose weight. Then I did start to try, I moved more, ate less, and lost the weight. And since that time, I've been able to keep it off also. So I realize now in hindsight, it was just this belief that was keeping me stuck. There's also a really interesting article I'm going to link to in the video description. And it talks about someone who they were convinced that their metabolism was ruined, that they had a really slow metabolism, and they actually went into a metabolic chamber where they actually scientists study your metabolism, and it's a really eye-opening thing about what she learned about her own beliefs about her metabolism. Number 2, I need to eat perfectly in order to lose weight. So perfectionism was certainly a problem for me in the beginning. I really thought perfectionism was one of those things that was helping me. It was helping me to be a higher achiever, that was going to keep me on plan. So what I started to see was when I thought about like, okay, what does it actually take to lose weight? The thing that I really believed for a long time was, well, if you really want to lose weight and keep it off, you have to like eat the things you hate and kind of have to be miserable, and you have to just eat like perfect all the time. And so I decided to change that. Eventually I said, that's not going to work for me. Like, I want to be able to eat like everyone else and eat all the foods I love. Like, I want to have cake in my life. I want to be able to eat pizza and ice cream and all the things. So I changed my belief. One thing that helped me with this actually was reading about Mark Hobb. He's a nutrition professor, and he decided to do an experiment on himself, which was basically to eat nothing but convenience store food, like what we would probably term junk food, and see how that affected his body. And surprisingly, what happened was he found that he lost weight, and that all of his other like health markers improved as well. So the belief I decided on was, it's really not the foods per se that are the problem, it's the amount that I'm eating that's the problem. And once I decided on that, I was able to get self-control with food. I was able to eat the right amounts, just, to stop when I was full, generally speaking, and I lost the weight. And I've been able to stick with it over the long term because, again, I eat all the foods. I don't feel deprived. And the number one false belief that kept me overweight was, I'm not eating too much. Now, this is the one belief I was dead set on not changing. I really was so convinced that I was not eating too much food. I would in my own head, like kind of look at how much other people around me were eating. And I just thought, there's no way that I'm eating too much. I mean, I would look at my body. I realized I was overweight. I realized I had gained weight, but it was like, there's no way. But once I started to do intermittent fasting, I started to learn some things about myself. What I started to see was, I had some really well ingrained habits of just grazing all day long, picking up, stuff on plates. I had small kids at the time, and they would just leave stuff on plates. And so I would just eat that. I didn't want the food to go to waste. I would go grab snacks like in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. But as I was intermittent fasting, because my window was getting shorter and shorter, I started to see these bad habits that I had. And then what I started to see was, as the scale went down, like I just started to see like, oh wow, it's because I'm eating less, because I'm not grazing all the time. I'm sitting down for a meal and eating food, and then, getting up and doing other things, not snacking, generally speaking, and then sitting down for another meal. And I could see like, I am not eating as much as I used to. And so I finally just had to realize, yeah, it's true. I was eating too much before. I was eating enough to maintain my obese body weight. Changing my belief on this has been super helpful, especially in maintenance, because in maintenance, what I've noticed for myself, even though I know that it's true that, if the scale's moving up, it's because I'm eating too much. There's always this little panicky voice in the back of my head that says, oh, nope, it's not that you're eating too much. It's that, like your metabolism has finally, kicked the bucket or something. But sure enough, whenever I, stop and take a breath and really look at, how have I been eating and am I picking up any bad habits again? Sure enough, I always do see that usually what's happened is I'm stressed out about something and I find myself eating a lot faster, not paying attention to how much I'm eating, or if I'm stopping when I'm full. And then when I correct those things, then of course the scale moves right back down. So it's been very helpful to change my belief to, if the scale's moving up, I'm eating too much. So now those were my top 5 false beliefs, but perhaps you have some that are different from mine. What I would encourage you, if you're having trouble losing weight, maybe you're being somewhat consistent on your plan, but you find yourself quitting a lot or just maybe never getting started, ask yourself, what are some of the things you believe about your weight? And then the question that's really helpful for me is that really true? Really question yourself. Is that really true? And try to prove yourself wrong. So I hope this video has helped you. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.